There's no excuse for us Christians to have a biblical balanced view on the Antichrist. You know, I deal with the genealogy, the appearance, the timing, the character, the behavior, and all that stuff. The problem is many people, even the Christian community, are unfortunately getting it wrong. They're causing division. They're claiming certain people to be the Antichrist. And if you don't agree, man, it's getting crazy.
And that's been going on for a long time.
Exactly, Doug.
I mean, more than 100 years, someone's always the Antichrist.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right? And so it comes and goes. And to me, I equate that as like a unfortunate behavior of rapture date setters. They predict a date, even though the Bible's very clear, nobody knows. And then it comes and goes. And then what are the lost do? You goobers, this is why I don't listen to you. You don't know what you're talking about. It's the same thing. People are so fast and loose with trying to lump somebody into being the Antichrist. And it comes and goes, and the lost scoff again. And so my thing is, let's understand what the Bible says. We need to understand the Antichrist, but here's the bottom line. The Bible's very clear. As a born-again Christian, I need to understand the Antichrist. I need to understand all the Bible. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm not looking for the Antichrist. I'm looking for Jesus Christ. Because the Bible clearly says that all born-again Christians, we will never see the Antichrist because he cannot appear until we disappear.
Let's look at the new structures that are evolving.
Right.
And let's look at them intelligently, right? Because now there is intelligence that can keep track of everybody's money, right? Now there is global economic interdependence like never before. We need to look at, so walk us through some of the things we need to look at and go, huh, that's interesting.
Like Bill Gates. I mean, let's start with him. You talk about that in the second chapter.
Yeah, Bill Gates, or I'll just say it.
George Soros.
George Soros, he's at it again. But see, we take a deep dive in all these guys, and we find out who they really are and what they're really up to.
And what their assignment is.
Exactly, their assignment and how it fits, knowingly or unknowingly, with Bible prophecy, specifically the infrastructure of the
that's
Antichrist kingdom.
Really important what you're saying, Billy, is knowingly or unknowingly.
Right.
Not everyone who's part of creating these things is trying to say, oh, I want to build a highway for the Antichrist. You know, they're trying to make the world a better place, some of them.
Right.
You know, and now some of them, of course, you know, they know they're on the team. But some of them are just trying to do the next right thing.
Yeah, well, and I'm glad you bring that up, Doug, and I'll just give you what I call a lightning rod character. That's Elon Musk. It seems like, man, can we just have, we're Christians, can we just have a discussion? What's wrong with this? Is it illegal nowadays? But the problem is this, people have polarized Elon Musk. If you say anything bad about him, then you become anti-American or a leftist liberal. But if you say anything good, then they say, oh, you're working for the Antichrist and you drunk the Kool-Aid, right? And I go, no. Christians are supposed to be truth tellers, so let's just deal with the facts. Number one, I'll be honest with you, I am super stoked about what he's doing with the Doge program. It's like, hello, finally, this should have been going on 20 years ago.
Right.
Cleaning house. So I'm not dishonest about that. I'm not gonna, I'll give him credit for that. All I'm saying is, that's on the front porch. Can we talk about what's going on in the backyard? And the backyard behavior is everything to do with Bible prophecy. He is building, with Klaus Schwab and the gang, a Neuralink. It's beyond animal trials. Check it out. It's already into humans. The stated goal is they're going to be able to pop brain chips into people as quick and easy and, quote, as painless as a, quote, LASIK eye procedure. You will go in, just like the laser go, bzz, bzz, and then you go right back out. Outpatient procedure. So brain chips, what's up with a brain chip head for, I don't know, but I'm kind of thinking that's one of the two places for the mark of the beast. I'm not saying he's working for the Antichrist. I'm just saying, man, of all business ventures, it's not like make a new shovel. You just happen to be building something that's putting brain chips into people, which is part of the Great Reset.
Well, that technology is something that we have to look at because the Bible tells us this kind of thing's going to happen.
Right.
Let's go back to Bill Gates, the depopulation. Let's talk about that because that's a real issue that's gone on for a long time, and people don't even understand the correlation between that and even vaccinations that he's been connected to, giving to people in Africa, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, exactly. And that whole section could have been a book, a documentary unto itself. And I knew he was up to a lot of...
Robert Kennedy Jr. knows about all of this. We've talked about that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of the vaccines that were sent over and what they did.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and again, his vaccines, and this is in print, some of his vaccines are killing 10 times more people than of what the vaccine is supposed to inoculate against. So But you don't understand it. Each one of these guys, I learned this from seminary and biblical counseling course. If you want to know the man, you got to know the history. And so each one of these guys, I had to go behind what I call the paid smoke screen, because they each put out a veneer of, like Bill Gates, I'm just a billionaire, quirky nerd guy,
Entrepreneur.
philanthropist,
Yeah.
you know, with the Bill and Gates, Melinda Foundation. No, you got to get behind that. And there's two things that motivate Bill Gates in every decision that he does. And when you get it, it's like finding the missing puzzle. And his two modus of operandi is to make money and murder people. And you're going, wow, that sounds pretty horrible. Yeah, it is horrible. In fact, I will say this, Joni, based on my research, if Bill Gates gets his way, he will become the biggest mass murderer in the history of mankind. In fact, we have him on tape, and of course it's transcribed for the book, at a TED Talk. And he clearly says that if we do a good job with vaccination and healthcare, we can reduce the population of the planet from 10 to 15%. I broke out the calculator. 15% of the current population is 1.2 billion people. Hitler killed 6 million. Communism today, believe it or not, this one doesn't get mentioned much, 100 million. This is 1.2 billion. And you're like, why in the world would this guy do this? Well, because you got to know the history, know the man. His dad was the head of Planned Parenthood. Depopulation, Margaret Sanger. He was raised in this environment that there's too many people on the planet. And he believes that as an elitist, it is his altruistic duty to help depopulate the planet. But what is that? That's called kill people off. This is horrible, and things of that nature. And vaccines are just one of the ways he's, quote, getting the job done.
What are some of the stories that you put in the book about him that we can look and say he presently was involved in this particular situation where people died?
Yeah, well, again, we have a whole section on specifically how does he make money, murder people. Vaccines are an easy one. We also before that, we deal with what he's doing with the food supply. Now, first of all, who is this guy, right? Is he a health expert?
Get rid of meat, get rid of eggs.
Yeah, exactly. Is he a health expert? Is he a doctor? Who makes you?
Or inject meat with the new MMR technology, so to speak.
Well, it's worse than that, Johnny. Again, what's his two motives for everything he does? Once you get it, it explains everything. Make money, murder people. Go to the food. We're not even talking about the vaccines. Go to the food. Why has he become the biggest farmland owner in the United States?
Yeah.
And not just the United States, keep going deep. He's also doing this around the world, including the Netherlands, which is the second largest food exporter on the planet.
Why is he even involved in food at all?
Because he's creating a monopoly to make money, and then that food's going to murder people. Trace the trail, right? His fake meat, see, you buy the farmland, so that means you can't produce crops and you can't do husbandry, animals, the two things we eat, by the way. And so if you limit that, then he comes up with an alternative. He's created a monopoly, his fake meat, under the guise of helping to save the planet, which is a lie. And so...
and what about the ingredients in that?
Thank you very much. And the ingredients in just his fake meat is made, and this is not a conspiracy theory, it's in print, is made from cancerous tumor cells, and they're replicated. I don't know about you, Doug, but I don't want a cancer burger. Think that's going to be good for you? I don't think so. You go like, why would a guy create cancer food burgers and then force people to eat it? Because he's going to make money, he's going to murder people. It goes even further. This guy, at the same time, that's just meat, fake meat. He's destroying the vegetable and fruit crops. He's now created another thing called a peel, and it's supposed to preserve our fruits and veggies. Well, again, it's coming with stuff that's now coming out, stuff that's carcinogens, and it's harmful when you put that on the food supply. So now you're destroying.
Or crossbreeding, like we've done to our wheat, and now we've got all of these gluten-sensitive individuals because it wasn't grown the proper way, the way the Bible said to.
Exactly, which is another thing. And I knew about this, but I didn't know the Bill Gates connection until I went down deep. Guess who's the one who helped start the Svalbard seed vault in Norway, out in the middle of nowhere? Bill Gates. And if you know anything about that seed vault, it is storing all the master seeds on the planet. And they literally call it the Noah's Ark of seeds. And you're like, well, what are they doing that for? What do you know that I don't know? What do you mean? Because they're genetically modifying everything, the meat and the plants, the seeds. And so they're storing the master seeds, Bill Gates, and you're like, well, why? Because he's behind the patents for genetically modified seeds, and some of the seeds that they're genetically modifying, again, make money, murder people, the genetic modification of seeds is creating super pests, super problems. It's not good for you. But here's how he's making money off it. A lot of these seeds that they're genetically modifying, Joni, is what's called a Terminator gene. It's a Terminator seed. In other words, it's one and done. And so that means husbandry, like growing livestock, you don't eat all your cows, you save some back to make more cows. It replicates itself. Crops, when you grow crops, right? You don't plant all the seeds and get rid of the whole harvest. You pull back some of the harvest for the next crop. Well, these guys have figured it out where now the seeds are one and done, which means you have to forever go back to them for your next batch of seeds. It doesn't self-replicate anymore.
They can't reproduce.
Bingo. And so they're going to make bank. But again, it's harmful effects on the human body.
Well, before you leave, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, we would love to hear how the Lord is moving and touching your heart right now. So be sure to comment below and then share this video with someone you feel needs it just as much as you did.